This is Jean Maroney of Thinking Directions, and I'd like to quickly explain this goal-directed action flowchart. You start where it says start, have goal. Have goal will travel. When you have a goal, say to buy a new apartment, you have to break that down into a series of objectives and steps, and then you need to take the steps. And as you're going through, you need to evaluate progress. If your progress is good, you just keep taking steps. That's what this inner loop called the progress loop is about. But if the progress is bad, you need to adjust your course. Like, for example, suppose your objective was to buy a new condo and you went through a series of steps. Say you found a realtor and you went and looked at a number of them and you found the one you liked and you put in an offer, and then you found out that you couldn't get a mortgage. Those first steps all were good, but when you find out you can't get the mortgage, that's bad. You have to go back and you may need to change your parameters as far as what condo you were going to get. And that all of that is completely normal. In goal-directed action, there needs to be feedback. You need to evaluate progress. These are things you know about, you've seen before. What I think is helpful about having a flowchart is that it helps you to analyze patterns of problems. And there are three that I particularly focus on with the toolkits that I teach. So one is you can get caught in these boxes here. You can get caught trying to clarify the objective. You can't figure out what it should be, or you can't figure out what the next step should be, or you just get stuck taking it. And these sometimes just look like procrastination because you're not really making much progress. But the truth is, there is an art to setting objectives and steps so that you can take them. You need to align what you think you should do and what you want to do and what you can do. And that is a practice which I teach in my Taking Action toolkit. Another way that things can get in trouble is you can find yourself getting caught in this outer loop where you just keep going back to try to clarify your objective. And this is a symptom. Some people might think this is overthinking or overplanning. You're spending all your time thinking and no time acting. And that is a problem, but that's a symptom of the problem. Because it's not really an issue of the quantity of the thinking you're doing, it's the quality. And if you're generally having trouble where you're just going back to the drawing board quite a bit, then you need tactics, I call them thinking on your feet tactics, that help you untangle your thinking and go figure out how to use what you know more effectively. And that's something particularly on a challenging goal, on a really ambitious goal. You really need to use all your resources and stretch your brain, and sometimes you need that thinking on your feet. And then finally, the other way that goal-directed action can get hung up is in this inner loop here. Now, normally, this would just mean this is called the progress loop. You're taking steps, you're making progress, everything looks good. But remember, the goal is not to take steps, the goal is to get to done. And at some point, you need to exit this loop and get to done. And that can sometimes be a problem, particularly if you have any tendency towards perfectionism. That will make you, every time you get here, you think, oh yeah, that's good, but I can do better. Oh, I can do better. And you'll stay in this loop indefinitely and not get to done. And for that, you need some tactics which I have packaged up as crossing the finish line, because it is so, so important to get to done. So I hope this little overview has been clarifying. And this is Jean Maroney of Thinking Directions. Thanks for watching.